Hi there, April here, Tarot and Beyond. Just wanting to lend my perspective on how do you choose a tarot card deck. Give you a couple of other pointers maybe that might help you out along the way, and also bust down a couple of those nasty you gottas, you shoulds. So, by the way, if you like what you see, please subscribe, please share me, please, yes, like all of that stuff. It really does help me. If you want to book a private session, at this point, I'm not doing any email or online readings. I will get into that. But right now, I'm just sticking with my personal sessions. Those are done in person in Sutter Creek. They're done on the phone and they're done via private Zoom room. So you can book that all at tarotandbeyond.com. And or you can email me a question at the link below, and that's questions at tarotandbeyond.com. So back to the important thing, the reason that you're paying attention to me right now. Thank you. So first of all, there are no rules. It's important that you understand every single rule that's ever been spoken about tarot cards was spoken by a human. You're a human, I'm a human, we can make up our own rules. As long as you're working for good, as long as you're happy in the process, as long as the place that you're buying from or the person who gave it to you makes you feel good and well, then you're fine. Don't worry about the rules. It's really where the energy is coming from, right? And what type of energy you're receiving through those cards. So you want to make sure that it came from a nice place, that if you're not really certain about that, that you go ahead and do your cleansing, blessing. I'll talk more about that in another video. But mainly just feel good about that deck. Once it feels good to you, it's probably good to use. How do you choose a deck? Well, if you weren't given that deck, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to an establishment. I highly recommend that you do business with physical presence, spiritual stores, and ones that you like, not just the one that's down the street. If you don't like them, please go on to somebody else. Give somebody a call. If someone called in here and said, hey, I need a really good deck of tarot cards and I'd like you to ship them to me, we would work with you, figure out what you need, and we'd work up a price and get it to you. We don't have an online store. A lot of these places don't. That's just a personal preference. The philosophy of the store is that it's supposed to be the safe place for you to come to get what you need. And most spiritual stores you're going to find have similar philosophies. So doing business with these stores supports them and increases the vibration and feeds the Christ grid and all of that stuff. So consider doing that. Okay, so you've walked in the door to this store and you've got to pick out that deck. Ask yourself, what is the purpose for, for me having a tarot card deck? Why do I want a deck? Do you want to read for others? Do you want to read for yourself? Do you want to just get a little clarity? Is it just amusing? You want to do party tricks? That's fine too. There's lots of different reasons to have a tarot card deck. So ask yourself that. My deck that I use is the Robin Wood Tarot. And I have Robin's permission to use her deck in all of my work. So you'll see her cards as I'm doing things as we go along. The one thing that I love about her deck is it's very, very clear. It's very clear. You don't have to intuit a lot of stuff. It's layers and layers and layers of iconography, symbols that mean things, and things generally, right? So you see a black and a white candle lit. You know that we're working on both sides, both realms. We're calling in everybody. We're calling in all the help. We want balance. We want everybody even, right? So that's a very important aspect of cards, is those icons, those symbols. If you can't figure out the meaning of the card by looking at the image, get a different deck. Because as pretty as it is, you're never going to be able to get away from that damn book. And I know what an 8 of Cups is, but if I'm looking at a giant crow leaning against a pillar, I don't have any clue. I won't know what that is. It'll be beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I love those decks. They're beautiful and they're useful to people who feel a connection to those decks. But if you're starting out, you just want to try something out. Usually people go to the Rider-Waite deck. And you'll see the Rider-Waite most commonly in books. And that's because it is out of copyright. And that means that everybody can use it for free. So you want to write a tarot card book, you use the Rider-Waite for your illustrations, and you don't have to get permission. You don't have to do all the hoops. I can tell you, as someone who has permission from a lovely artist to use her work, it's not that difficult. As long as you're doing good work and you give them credit, chances are they're going to let you use their art. That's what they want it out there for, is so that people can appreciate it and learn from it. So here we are with your decision to make. So my suggestion is very plainly, if you want to read for someone else, make sure that the cards are something that they can see the meaning in. It really does help them trust the reader. It really does help them calm down and be less concerned. And I apologize for this glare. I'd wear contacts, but then you'd have to see my face. Just joking. I will put my contacts in. I hate them. You see my red eyes. But for right now, I'm just trying to get rid of the glare. I know what causes it. I apologize. So if you are just there looking for a deck for others, you're a commercial reader, you're a professional reader, you're going to be out there. That's my number one. Just make sure it's easy and they can see it. When you point to something, that I want them to be able to say, yeah. If you're reading for yourself, if you're just reading for your own attunement, your enlightenment, your higher self, your continued education, whatever the reason, pick a deck that you like. Pick a deck that you like. If you want to study the tarot, pick a deck that is easy. That, Rider-Waite's the first commercial tarot card deck. There we go. Rider-Waite is a little Christian leaning. It's not something that, there's no religion sewn into the cards, but it's just got a little more of a muddy artwork to it. So it looks like when you're trying to check the lights on your Christmas tree and you squint your eyes so that you can only see just the little light bulbs and you can see whether or not they're close together or far apart, big gaps. So you do kind of the same thing with the Rider-Waite. You don't really want to focus because things are a little blurry. So you just really want to feel the card meaning and see the symbols, and that usually helps. The Robin Wood Tarot that I use, absolutely freaking clear. You know exactly what's going on. It's really awesome. Her art is beautiful. It's a little pagan, so if you're Christian, you're going to want to think about that. There's also graphic nudity. It's anatomically correct. So there are a couple of people who are sky-clad, as they say. So the important thing is to feel a familiarity with that deck, to feel good about the deck. Again, if you're trying to learn, you want to be able to have a good book to learn from. Make sure that there's a good companion book that goes along with it. That may not be the little tiny book that comes in the cards. That may be an addition, like with the Robin Wood Tarot. Sorry to keep plugging that damn deck. She's a lovely person. Anyway, she has a little companion book in the deck, great, but she has a companion book that she wrote. And I think the foreword is something like, here it is, leave me alone. So many people asked her for more, and she was kind enough to put more down. So I love that book as well. But basically, the nice thing is if you have a traditional tarot, then what you're dealing with is 78 cards broken into 2 systems, 22 major arcana, 56 minor arcana, 56 broken into 4 suits, ace through 10 and face cards. So what you want to do is you want to make sure an ace through 10, 0 through 10. You want to make absolutely certain in all these decks, if you're using a standard tarot, to know they're all the same. They're all the same. You read the cards exactly the same. You can use a Rider-Waite book on any deck that you have. So there's a really good book that we sell here, Tarot Plain and Simple, by I think it's Anthony Lewis or something. And it's a really nice little handy book. So get an easy tarot card book, play around with that, get the deck you like. If you're going to read for other people, a deck that they're going to be able to see so that you don't have to do so much work. Go out and have fun. And thanks for listening to me. If you have any questions at all, post them. I do a tarot class. I will likely do one online. But I got to tell you, the really cool reader who gave me her channel and now is It's Tarot and Beyond, ITS Tarot and Beyond. She is just a lovely person, and I just saw that she posted a class as well. So feel free to go on over there, and I'll try to post something. Maybe I'll get a link or something and get it into the comments. So thank you very much again. Have a beautiful day here in California. It's going to be raining. I hope it's raining where you are, but not too much. Take care.